Oh no!
Yo, chat. A galaxy. Give us a galaxy. Y'all don't care about the kids?
Oh shit.
Yo, some guys can more people.
Yo, he's right.
Yo! Jesus Christ!
Get his house.
Yo, we got another one!
It's a Cadillac, it'll be fine.
What are we saying yes for?
Yes for the firework, I'm guessing.
Oh. Yo, okay, that want the firework.
We can do it like right outside the front door.
Live right now?
What?
You live right now?
Yeah, I've been live.
What's the biggest gift they could send you to get the firework?
Like a lion or something?
Yeah.
Or a universe?
Yeah, TikTok Universe.
Guys, we got a mortar, okay? This is a good firework.
You already made like $15 from it. Really?
So,
You recouped nearly half the money for the dominoes.
yeah.
Just from the galaxies. That's not even the other gifts. You might make enough to cover the
Can we all just agree that, okay, maybe just for the sake of argument, let's just say that everybody had a good intention and things just got out of hand and one thing led to another. You can't really control what people do in situations like this. People make mistakes and I don't know. It was a stupid decision, and like we can just like agree that, nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and like I don't know. Can we agree on that? Maybe. I don't know, dude. Fira, dude. I'm trying to find an angle here so that I can like cope with this and not be like completely like seething about it. The warning signs were there, like telegraphed from like a million miles away, and like still it went on. It's like this is what happens, dude. This is what happens for years. There's the whole reason why the saying "don't touch the poop" exists. People keep warning not to go to like the predators' houses and harass them and do this kind of things, because this is exactly what happens, and it happened. I'm pretty sure pretty much everybody that knows about the whole situation with Nova and who he is, like, are aware of what happened, but it just happened, like, today, as I'm recording this. It just happened. Immediately as I dropped my own video on Nova, this information was also, like, dumped on YouTube. And basically, everything that a lot of people that are involved in all these kind of matters warn about not to do, everything happened almost as like some kind of like guideline of some kind of manual, like this happens and then this happens and then this happens and then this happens. You'll see here, and if not, I'll link the original raw video below so that you can watch that instead directly. But you'll see this is very conflicting for me, actually. Like, as I've mentioned it before, what a time to start committing to making Lolocow videos. What a time to do it. Wow. I can say that at least. There's a reason that I say the things that I say about these kind of subject matters, and it's very funny that I just mentioned it, and then the perfect example for that happened. It's just part of it. Sadly, it's one thing that I try to do, and I hope I can commit to it forever, because I have managed to commit to it during my 39 years of existence. So I hope I can still keep it up now that I'm doing things like this. Is that, well, sometimes people around you might be doing the deplorable things that you reject entirely with every fiber of your being, and they might be worse than you because of the things that they do. But that doesn't mean that you're better than them. Am I explaining myself? I don't know. I don't know if I'm. I don't know if it makes sense. But to me, it makes sense. And thinking like that. It's very conflicting for me to do this video because, like, for years, you keep seeing, like, LOLCOWS, right? And they're all, like, one of the first things that you always hear repeated when people address the LOLCOWS and, like, why people feel so entitled and superior about all these people is that they're always saying, oh, if you just didn't do this, then, I don't know, like, people wouldn't mess with you, or, like, if you just stopped and listened to reason, and, you know, you were told to, like, not do this, or listen to that, and, like, blah, 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 blah. And yet, you see, like, you know, people behave exactly the same, exactly as the LOLCOWS there are, like, pointing fingers at. You see, there's a reason why I say that don't get so arrogant and start feeling yourself too superior to, like, anybody else. That is the reason why I say it. You saw that right here. All the LOLCOW behavior, aside from the most nefarious things, like, you know, the grooming and like creeping and all that kind of stuff. Aside from that, it was so embarrassing, dude. Like, how can you accuse somebody of anything if you are doing pretty much exactly the same things? If you're gonna throw the first stone, you better be clean yourself. And all I saw right here was, like, LOLCOW behavior, LOLCOW behavior here, LOLCOW behavior there. Somebody explains to you why it would be a bad idea to do something deranged with good reasoning and clearness, and then you're like, oh my god, and, like, you start doing it regardless, coming up with all these copes and all this bullshit, all this, like, convoluted explanations, and then you do that, and then somebody, the same person, calls you out and is like, hey, what were you doing? We agreed that you weren't going to do that, and you lie, even though it's on camera. It's like, Sophia Chu maxing here, Nova, Cyrax, Christian, Hassan Piker, quartering, DSP maxing, like every LOLCOW ever maxing here. What the hell, dude?
Yo, wait, Bludspeth wants to join. Hold up. Who's coming? Bludspeth.
Yeah, give Bludspeth.
Wait, Bludspeth, request to join again if you can. Oh, yeah. Wait, hold up, chat. I gotta take it off the tripod. Bludspeth, yep.
I mean, when something's that topic.
Yo, hello?
Yo,
What's good?
how's it going? So, I was kind of under the impression that this is a protest.
To an extent, there's not a whole lot of people here yet. I think we're waiting for a lot more people.
Look, you're literally just trying to get his attention right now. That's not a protest.
Yeah, we need somebody to DoorDash him food.
We need him to
Yo,
come
you
out.
can't do that. You can't tell people to do that.
Yeah.
Why, dude? Like, what's the point?
Hopefully he'll come out at one point and flip us off again. And then we can protest him.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Is your mic on?
Yeah. Bro, do not tell people to DoorDash him, to send him shit. Like, it's not a good idea, dude. Like, at all.
Okay, nobody DoorDash anything. Unless you already have that. Cancel your order.
But if you do it right and put this way, you can
And, like, why don't you just kind of be honest? Because, this isn't really a protest. Like, I was expecting a protest, but y'all are just trying to, like, mess with him on live, like, in front of his house. Okay, well, you understand that there's a lot more going on than just you guys standing out there. You're live streaming to a bunch of people, encouraging them to call him. That's a form of harassment. And I know that's me talking. I don't have much room to talk in that scenario. But you guys are outside of his house, dog.
We were just calling people to encourage them to call bad questions about no before.
No, you were telling them to call in to mess with them. Just don't like trespass. Don't do any of that shit.
We're on top. I think either way, this event is still gonna end up happening. Yeah, more people are gonna show up.
It's happening right now.
It is happening. Yeah, there's not much anybody can do, but as of right now, it's as peaceful and like legal as it possibly can.
Nothing bad's going around here.
For now, that's. Well, guys, Yeah, I mean, just had that to say. Just don't do anything stupid. If you guys are gonna be there, just be there. I know that's me talking. Don't have much room to talk, but just want everyone to be safe. No crimes committed, and no interference with this investigation.
And then you start lashing out and doubling down and grifting for like views and probably money or whatever. And it's everything was there. Wow.
Okay, like since we're at 400 viewers. Yo, we're at almost 500 viewers, guys. Holy shit. Oh, sorry. Yo, 700 viewers. Yo, guys, let's get to 1K. Oh my god, we're almost at 1,000 viewers. I'll send a galaxy if you throw a rock. No, I won't. I'm not.
And why am I seeing the clip where you said you'd throw a rock at him for a galaxy?
No, that didn't happen.
I'll send a galaxy if you throw a rock. No, I won't. I'm not.
No, here, I want to say the property we're on is private property, and one of the people who is here protesting, it is his grandma's property, and he got permission from her for people to be here.
Okay, that's not the issue. Do you know that there's like an active investigation into Nova right now? Because of the amount of threats and like in-person harassment he faces? So when you're doing this and sending people to, deliver shit to his house and spam call him.
We haven't
You
sent anyone.
have.
Someone
I've seen
actually,
it. You're lying.
so
I've seen it,
the
dog.
Domino's, I'll show you. So the Domino's that just
And so when you're doing this, now more police resources have to be expended into protecting this fucking idiot from like you, instead of arresting him and charging him for talking to children.
So I don't think you realize that everything you're saying right now, nobody's gonna hear you out on it. Nobody's gonna lead you.
No one's not gonna let you hit.
No, we're not gonna let you hit, bro.
we'll see.
They reported him.
I reported him.
I have to remove your Bludspeth.
I'm gonna try to tone my commentary down a little bit and not lash out because I was kind of triggered when I was watching everything, the video, Bludspeth's video. I was kind of triggered and I was getting kind of rattled. But at the end of the day, I have to remember one very important thing. These people were doing this thing to Nova. They weren't doing this thing to like just some like innocent bystander there that wasn't asking for anything, hadn't really done anything to deserve something like that, and then some like Johnny Somali or whatever his name is, I don't remember right now, or any of those people. I hate people like that. They start like harassing them for no reason. They weren't doing that. They weren't doing this to like a known predator online. So it's not the same. You have to acknowledge that it's not the same. At the end of the day, this was done to Nova. So I have to take that into consideration too. Like as rattled as I was, it's not the same. It's not comparable. But at the same time, it was bad, and it was so like embarrassing and cringe. So yeah, the same people who did the Nova home takeover from like last week, I think, a little bit over 1 week ago, that went there and pretty much just sat in their car, just sitting there and just like teasing Nova, I guess. Not really, just like sitting there, and be like, hey, Nova. So they came back this time with a vengeance. A bunch more people. They even announced it and everything, and it was this event, right? They pretty much broke into the limits of where you're allowed to go, because they weren't just in the sidewalk anymore like last week, or like for example when Aware myself did it.
100% gonna arrest one of us. We are here for a peaceful protest, and these grifters are trying. I don't know why they're on his property. I don't support that.
Saying do it. Like the people who are saying don't do it. Yeah. Yeah. No, we're gonna go ride the trike. Ride the trike. Yeah. Go ride his trike. We're gonna ride the trike in about 4 minutes, guys.
Dude, 1.2 million likes is
It's going on.
Okay, that is, I do not recommend you guys do this.
but we don't care.
Off, right?
What? No, he's not a lawyer anymore. So illegal.
No. He's taking the trike. Yo, we might have to dip soon. Yo, he's scared. Close the Roman candle.
Somebody just sent another galaxy.
No way. Yo, he's literally quit editing the chat.
Dude, don't do this.
This is not a protest, this is harassment. So harassment's not okay, but pedophilia is.
We shouldn't do this, guys. We shouldn't do this, I'm telling you.
He's doing that.
He shouldn't do it. You shouldn't have done that.
Oh, he
You're gonna get in
doesn't
trouble,
really care.
I know, I'm trying to...
Just say no, but like what this is.
It's a Cadillac, it'll be fine.
What are we saying yes for?
Yes for the firework, I'm guessing.
Oh. Yo, okay, that want the firework.
We could do it like right outside the front door.
They were like in his doorstep. They were around the yard. They tried to steal the bike. They were lighting illegal fireworks. They were one of the neighbors was like telling them to like get Nova's house. Imagine if you caused a fire. Some neighbor gets a house fire because of Nova. Oh my god, that's no, dude. When the Cyrex thing happened, it was funny and everything, but also because like Cyrex is like a little mouse man, right? Who like he was wielding a bat, but nobody cares about that. Like, it's not gonna do anything to you, you know? But remember, Boogie had a gun. He doesn't have the balls to use it, but Boogie had a gun. It's a meme now and everything. Eventually, something can happen. Like, you know. Also, I've explained it several times already in my videos how this could create a climate where stuff like this can change the laws. It sounds ridiculous and far-fetched, I guess, for some people, but this is how things start. Like, stuff like this can eventually, if it accumulates enough, change laws. I've explained it enough already in my other videos, so I'm not gonna go too much into it, but it can change laws enough to so that eventually you can't say anything at all. You can't go and protest against like child predator anymore because the law could see it as harassment to somebody who hasn't been convicted or proven guilty at all, even though everybody can see it. For example, Nova, there's no way to actually prosecute him, like, you know, to a point where a lot of people would want to, because there's no actual action to accuse him of something worthy of going to jail, right? He hasn't touched anybody, and he hasn't gone far enough in a lot of aspects to a point where you have concrete, like, smoking gun evidence to just like put him away. But everybody can see that it's just a matter of time. And the problem is that this is not just a case of Nova. There's thousands of people out there very similar to that, and you may ruin chances of like people, average people, trying to, like, you know, do something against these people, this kind of like predators, because you might generate rules preventing you from like protesting, speaking out, making a YouTube video, or like, I don't know, posting something on Twitter. You know how it is nowadays. It's not like it's surprising to anybody how the internet used to be, I don't know, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, where you could say stuff that you can't say anymore. How do you think those things started? In England, you can get arrested for praying silently outside of like a you-know-what clinic.
What are you here for today?
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
Okay, that's why you're stood here. Is you standing here part of the protest?
No, I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head out loud.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other days where there are allegations that you've broken public spaces protection?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest on suspicion of failing to comply with the Public Spaces Protection Order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime Policing Act 2014.
Because it's considered like harassment and like hate speech. You know how it is. You know what I mean. There's so many more examples that I can put, but you're smart. You get the idea. And this is something that bugs me too. I know that these people are way better than this. I know it. Something tells me. I know it. These people are so much better than this. But imagine if you claim to go and harass Nova the way that these people did, because they supposedly care about, think about the children. And supposedly for that, right? And then you say, no, don't do that. that's a bad idea, and you're like, what? You're a pedophile supporter now because you're not letting us protest here. You're just doing this for like, the children and whatever. And it's like, okay, let's just for the sake of argument, let's just say that that is the case, that you're doing that because of that. But and then you are creating this environment where the authorities now have to spend a lot of resources and a lot of time and effort into getting you guys out of there and like protecting Nova now, and things could escalate into a point to where it ends up, as I explained earlier in the cases that I explained earlier. And now a known predator, a known like weird fetishy like groomer is now free. Is now set free to do whatever he wants, to like start going online and like looking for his fix, you know what I mean? And as Nova does, and now if you try to say anything or do anything, you're gonna be in trouble because of that. And the one who wins at the end of the day is Nova and the people like him. And the only thing that you accomplished was to make an ass out of yourself and end up in the thumbnail of some like random Mexican nobody on the internet making out with Nova. It's like, that's dystopian. By the way, yes, I stole this from Chin's thumbnail. I just saw it like a couple of hours ago, and I was like, oh, I can do way worse than that. Oh, I can do way worse than that, dude. Oh, holy shit, that's unholy. Oh, I can do even worse than that. You see, oh, he likes it. Look, oh my god. Told you I can do worse than that. So, all of this event was plagued with like Lolocow type of lies and like stuff happening, like events happening. Everybody was more interested in being outside of Nova's house and like going viral, fixating on the view count and on ordering DoorDash to his house for the memes, I suppose. Which tells you the priorities of like what this thing was. Also, it shows you that is why I say never trust people. Never trust me. Never trust anybody online. Never befriend people online. Never get relationships with people online because you don't know them. Like, you don't know them. You know, they're at the end of the day they're just strangers. It was uncanny how quickly people turned their backs like immediately at somebody. Your typical local type of like backstabbing was like super was there. Like it was crazy how like as soon as they saw that Bludspeth was communicating with them there in the live stream, everybody was like, oh, it's Bludspeth, it's Bludspeth, like, oh, it's important, it's important. It's like, it's a goat in this kind of like Nova sphere, like it was somebody of relevance there in their little event, and they were like super into him. As soon as he started saying things that they didn't want to hear, they were immediately shrugging him off and like lying and like trying to silence him and teasing him later on and being like, oh, this guy, blah, 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 blah. Like
So bad up there. They said, Bludspeth just said, is this what a few thousand viewers does to you? You're trespassing now?
Bludspeth.
It's only a couple thousand views. That's it. He just watched the part, because it just now caught up, and he just watched the part where you guys went to not.
Wait, how do I see where?
I was getting rattled. But by the way, I don't know the guy. I don't care about knowing the guy or anything like that. I'm not friends with Bludspeth or anything like that, or anybody really. By the way, this is a good chance to mention it. Like, don't try to like take sides with me or whatever ever on the internet. Like, now that I'm making these kind of videos, like I don't care about making alliances or relationships or friendships or of any kind with anybody on the internet. Like, stay away from me. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I'm just here to do my thing. I have my own reasons why I do the things that I do, and I'm just doing this, and I'm trying to entertain myself and entertain people, hopefully, and just like vent about things. And whenever I get tired of it, I'll just move on. I don't know how sooner or later it's gonna be, but I might eventually just move on. Just like I'm gonna move on from Nova content for a while. I don't know, a couple of weeks, couple of months. I'm not sure, but this kind of left such a sour taste in my mouth that I don't know. I don't want to think about it too much. I want to move on to some other stuff. I have to like I want to cover. Two of these people got doxxed. Like, that can't be worth it, dude. That can't be worth it.
Cool idea though. We got doxxed so bad.
You did?
Well, yeah, they just got like half the information wrong. That's why it was like not that bad. But
He doxed you guys?
no, it was the Kiwi Farms people, crazy ones.
If Nova was smarter, I would have assumed that he was actually the one who planned all of this, because it came out way too perfect in benefit to him. This is like the biggest Nova W like ever. This is exactly the kind of things that you hear like locals do and say, contradict themselves. For example, the quartering is like, for example, when he was confronted in his chat about him lying about his super expensive Hawaiian coffee not being pure and instead being a blend. He was like, no, it's not a blend. It's pure Kona coffee, and they were like, no, it's not. It's a blend. And it's like, no, it's not a blend. And they were like, it says right there. And it was like, oh yeah, it says right there, but it's not. It says it's a blend, but it doesn't mean that it's a blend. Like, people are trying to be reasonable with you, dude, and like you're like dodging and doing all these like mental gymnastics around it, and that's not good though. I don't know. I don't want to lash out too much against like these guys, because at the end of the day, they all look like young, and like I remember I was that age once, like a million years ago. I know how it is. You're dumb and like you're kind of crazy and all that kind of stuff. I want to decide to think that, as I said earlier, you know, nobody's perfect, and you know they made a mistake, and I'm pretty sure this could serve as an example of how these kinds of things can go wrong and are not a good idea. And I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna look back at this and be like, oh, you know what, that wasn't like my finest day, you know, and whatever, blah 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 blah. I'm sure of it. Yeah, sure, right. Yeah, right. Yeah. Listen, everybody makes mistakes, and I'm pretty sure like the idea was on the right spot or whatever, like blah blah blah. You have to remember one thing though. Pretty much all of the behavior that you saw these people do, or most of these people do, because some of them weren't really behaving like that. A couple of them, like that Cole guy. But everybody else, like, that is exactly the kind of things that you see locals do. And remember one thing. That is why I always say, the fact that locals do things that make them worse than you doesn't mean that you are better than them. Everybody else is people at the end of the day. That's how I view it. And as and corny as that sounds, I don't care. I'm an unk at the end of the day. I'm old as fuck. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Sorry, I was sent this meme and a couple of hours ago, and yeah, that's me. all I can all I can think of right now is unk. That word, unk. It sounds corny, and I don't care. It's because it is corny, but it's the truth. It's the truth. That's how I view it. Like everybody is people at the end of the day, and thinking that you are entitled to do, I don't know, something because you're better than somebody else leads you to very dangerous spots later on in life. It leads you to become arrogant and vain. That is exactly the kind of things that LOLCOWS did. You think, aside from like maybe Cyrax or something, you think LOLCOWS started being LOLCOWS? It's just you think that that is just the way it is, and they were just born that way, and they were just like meant to be that way. Like it all starts with little actions like these, being entitled, actively lying, thinking they're better than other people, and like having no impulse control, etc. You know, how do you think Boogie ended up the way he ended up, or Jeremy Hamley, Wings of Redemption, DSP, Tofia, Ash Trevino, like all these people, they started like you. They were like somebody else, just like you. You know that they're a series of decisions over and over, like led them to the spot where they are now. And as long as you don't understand that it's extremely easy, and there is an extremely fine line separating you from being in that spot where nobody is right now, it's gonna be very easy for you to make a mistake here and there and fall in that spot. Only Use Me Blade started getting wasted for donos, and look where he is right now. Every local ever says they're gonna do something, and then they do completely the opposite. And they like, just because they feel entitled to do it, because they want to do it, because they feel like it. And if you call them out, they double down and they rub it in your face, like, and they do it anyways. This is what Nova does, and they lie too. And you you have video footage of them saying something, and they still be like, no, that didn't happen. I didn't just say that. That's not true. We have to be very careful, dude. As I said earlier, I mean, these guys were doing this to like Nova, a groomer, a predator. It's like, okay, I don't want to go harder on these guys because, like, at the end of the day, they're young and they were impulsive and like whatever. I don't know these people. Like, I don't know them. Like, they were doing this to a predator, not some innocent bystander at the end of the day. Also, I want to believe that they know now, or eventually they'll figure it out that, they made a mistake and they won't do stuff like this in the future, probably. And everybody else watching can use this as an example to see that it's not just like people saying that you shouldn't do this. Like, whenever you're handling a situation where you're having a lot of people involved, it's very easy for things to get out of control because you can't control what people do, and everybody else has a different mindset, and everybody else is different, and like everybody else has a different background, and you don't know what they're gonna do. You don't know what their intentions are. Things get heated, things get out of control, things just, like, I don't know, escalate. And I'm pretty sure that was a huge part of like what happened here. Just like inexperienced people didn't know where they were getting into, and they thought it was going to be a little bit more like orderly than that, but they just allowed themselves to just be impulsive, and they didn't really consider what they were doing, and they made a mistake, and that's it. at the end of the day, nothing really bad happened. So, like, you have to consider that too. Nothing actually happened. Neighbors were annoyed. It was like an inconvenient. It was on the edge of getting out of control, but it didn't happen, fortunately. So we can be grateful for that. Anyways, blah 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 blah. blah. I've been seating too much now. There. Are you entertained now? Is that funny? I hope it is. Watch Bludspeth's video. I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Because you can see the whole thing. And okay, whatever. Bye. I'm not gonna talk about Nova next week. I'm gonna do something else. It's a good excuse because like it was too much Nova content anyways. Like okay, blah, 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 whatever. Bye.